Hello, how are we? I am fucking sweating. My car has been sitting outside Union Square for the last like, I don't know, no, maybe not that much, maybe like 6 hours or something, 10 till 5. Yeah, 7, that is 7 hours, oh my god. It's so hot in here. I just got a Starbucks. I really wanted a hot chai, but I'm too hot and bothered, so I got an iced one, but I always feel like the iced ones aren't as sweet as the hot ones. Anyway, so I definitely look a bit more glam than normal. Look at my makeup. I was just at Glam Candy it's just a face really. I was just being a face. Makeup artists that are training there just now, and we were doing like a glam photo shoot. So I had a red lip on. I was looking very Hollywood. The girl that did my makeup was only 16. Isn't that amazing? Like, she's honestly done such a good job. I did ask her if she had like a makeup Instagram, but she hasn't set one up yet. But if she does, I will let you know, because she does such a good job. Like, that is amazing to do that at 16, like literally amazing. I couldn't even speak to people when I was 16. But this is actually Sunday the 4th of June, the day that this video goes up, and it's like 5:20. Do we think we're gonna make it? I'm not sure. We'll have a risk. I actually did film this on Friday night. I went to Stonehaven with some old work friends, and well, let's just say it had to go. It had to get deleted. I filmed my Come Drive With Me when I was driving to Stonehaven, and I was meeting people I used to work with, and it kind of just ignited a bit of fire in me, and I ended up going on a 12-minute rant about my old job. And I mean, let's be honest, I can't put that on YouTube. Well, I mean, I probably could have, but like, it wasn't great. I can't believe I thought that would have been like acceptable. If anyone from my old job seen that, I could probably got sued. I was spilling all the tea. Anyway, we're not going into it again, because I'll go on a rant again. I did write down all the questions on a notebook, and I'm gonna have a quick look over them, and then I'm gonna drive home, and hopefully I can drive and talk at the same time. I'm so hot and I can't even put the aircon on because it's gonna be too loud. So you better appreciate it. So I'm trying to leave. I can't even remember how to get out of here. I don't even know why I parked here. Okay, I think I'm on track. No. Oh my god. Okay, right, I'll be back in a minute. Right, I think I'm in a good position to film. I'm sorry about the angle. I'm not tall enough to be over my steering wheel. I've actually like put it down like as low as possible. First question, well actually a lot of the questions were about like YouTube, social media, just like all of that in general. So I'll maybe try and like combine them all, because they're all quite related. And also I just want to say my head is absolutely pounding. I've came to the realization that when I'm out of my routine at the weekend, I always just like don't feel well. I think it's because like I'm not up early, I don't have like food till like 3 in the afternoon. Like, I don't know, I just always like feel a bit like unwell, and I don't really feel great right now, to be honest. Anyway, enough about that. Right, I'm sorry. Before I get into it, I just wanted to say as well, so I put up an anonymous box, which I was actually a bit scared of, because I was a bit worried that I was going to get some like, you know, scary messaging. It worked a treat. Like, I got so many like good questions that you probably like would maybe be a bit like scared to ask, especially because I'm not like a huge influencer with like thousands and thousands of followers. So like everyone that follows me, like I know, if that makes sense. I mean, Aberdeen is such a small place that you know of everyone. So I understand that it might be a bit scary to like ask questions to someone that like you know and you might bump into. I don't know. I would feel like that. So anyway, that's why I did the anonymous box. I got some like random questions, like some like they were starting to scare me a little bit. Like I got one and it was like, "You a homie?" And I was like, I don't know anyone that would write that. And it was like, "How did you sleep last night? Full stop." I was like, is this a trick question? What was the other one? There was another one. It was like, "Describe your first kiss in detail. Full stop." And I was like, what is with the aggravation? Like, not aggravation, aggressiveness in the question. Like, I just felt like, what was that about? Oh my god. Also, I'm waiting to drive along the beach. I almost got stopped for speeding. I was driving along and like these cars were flashing me. I was like, don't know them. And then I like went to flash back, and then the car behind them flashed me as well, and I was like, oh my god, they must be police. So I slammed my brakes on. Right enough, there was. So good job they were flashing me. I love when people do that. Okay, right, I am actually a way to answer the questions now. I can't film these videos, I just get a bit distracted. So a lot of them were about social media. So the first one was actually like, do you ever take like time off? Like, do you ever like take a break? And the answer is actually no. I kind of realised that I kind of take a Saturday off completely. I don't post anything on a Saturday, but I do a lot of filming on Saturdays, so like I suppose like not really. I was in Glasgow with Matty. That was meant to be like my like full like, I don't want to do anything, like I just want to like completely relax because I was feeling a bit burnt out and like a bit, you know, I was a bit stressed. I ended up doing above and beyond. I ended up filming a YouTube, I got Insta pics, I filmed TikToks. I mean, there was no time off taken whatsoever, but nonetheless it was such a good weekend. And it's hard because I want to film these things, like I want to film it on YouTube, I want to post it on TikTok. So like, I don't know, I think, I mean, that's just social media in general, like you can't really take time off. The other one was, how do I find like being a influencer? I don't think I'm an influencer, but what else would you call it? Like vlogger, content creator? I don't know. I'm my own little thing, but yeah, I find it really difficult. I think Aberdeen is actually getting like really like, I don't know, there's more and more things happening in Aberdeen, which is really good. It's good for Aberdeen in general, like, you know, just to get things out there, at least everywhere, what is going on. For Aberdeen as a whole, it's kind of about time that they do get out there, because, you know, there's so many nice places in Aberdeen that people just don't know about. Yeah, I just think it's really good that Aberdeen in general is starting to become a bit more like active, I would say, on social media. There's more events in Aberdeen now, like there's more little things going on, which is so good, and I think that's what we need. I think it's quite hard, especially like last two events I was at was in Glasgow, which, you know what, I actually kind of like the buzz of like going down after work and then getting home at 1 in the morning. Like there's something about that I quite like, but when I'm there I'm always like, these girls can go home in 10 minutes and be in bed, and I have like a 3-hour drive home. So there is like, you know, there's definitely not as much opportunities up here, but you just got to use it in your favour that there's such a small circle in Aberdeen, and you know, you get probably more opportunities when things do arise. You know, I don't know, you just kind of need to take it as it comes. Aberdeen's also a lot smaller than Glasgow and Edinburgh, and it's just one of those things, isn't it? I'm literally in the middle of the road. Another question was, would you like to do social media first time? Full time? I would actually really like that. I just am a bit worried that I wouldn't get up in the morning. I'm not like not a morning person, and I'm just a bit worried that if I was to be fully in control of my schedule, like how much work I would actually get done. I do actually like working in an office, but I would really like to do that maybe like 1-2 times a week, or maybe like part-time until I've like got a routine down. I would also like to do something on the side, so obviously I've got my style page. I would love to do more with that and like develop it into like a proper business. I physically don't have the time right now, or unless I like quit my job, I wouldn't have the time to do that. Oh, would I? I don't know. So I would like to go into an aspect of social media full time. It's a bit scary, and like office work is all I know. Like it's what I've done since I was 16. I've not done anything else, so I feel like if I stopped doing that, I don't think I would know how to adjust to like a new lifestyle. I mean, it would be amazing, it would be so good, but it's also a bit scary, and I would have to work for myself, and you know, there's all the problems that come with that. I would love to do it, I really would, and if the opportunity came, I would absolutely take it. But right now, I am nowhere near that. Let's not put that out there. I am close to that. If I could like go part-time or something, that would be quite nice, you know. A few mornings to myself. Do a slightly different one. So it was, I'm parked at lights. McDonald's every day, or get £1 million to spend, but I have to spend it within a week. £1 million, I could spend that no problem. I am such a spender. I have always been a spender. Even when I got my first job, I would allocate like, I think it was like £200 a month on clothes, £200 in savings, like say like £300 on bills. I had £250 to pay for driving lessons, and then that was my pay. I mean, realistically I could have saved like £350 and gave myself £50 on clothes, but no, like clothes is my thing. So I used to literally take £200 out of the bank and go into town, and I wouldn't go home until I spent that £200. So I've always been a spender. I don't think I'll ever not be a spender. Buying things, it's just me. So What was even the question? Oh yeah, the million. Yeah, I'll take that. I could spend that, absolutely no problem. Thing is, if I didn't want the things I spent the million on, I would just sell it, and then I would just like have a steady income of all the crap that I bought. I would actually maybe buy some like investments, like, you know, maybe like a really sought after Louis bag, and then I would sell it in like 5 years and make more money off it. That's what I would do. Another one, book recommendations. So I've actually joined a book club. I haven't actually had my first meeting or read my first book yet, but the first meeting's on it's like the 16th or something, so I've still got some time. I can't remember what oh god, red light. I can't remember what the book is. Oh, I hate when the person behind you doesn't go, because then you feel like you shouldn't have went. Although I did read a really good book in lockdown, and it was called Behind Closed Doors, I think. That was good. I read that in a day, like so quickly. That was like the first book where I was like, right, I like reading. Verity by Colleen Hoover is also an insane book. Like, if you're pregnant or want babies or very maternal, probably wouldn't read it. I remember my friend Laura was pregnant at the time. I was reading it and I was going to recommend it to her, and then I got to a certain chapter and I was like, oh my god, she's not going to want to read that. I would recommend it, but it's a bit dark. What other good books? Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. That is a good book. Not as good as everyone makes it out to be, but it's still a good book. It was quite a slow one for me. It took a while for me to get into, but I would still definitely recommend reading it. It's a different book, but it's good. I like it. Someone else said that they would like to start a YouTube channel, and that they find Aberdeen so judgmental, and how have I found doing YouTube? Honestly, fine. Like, I haven't really had any problems with it. I've not really had any backlash from it, I would say. Also depends like where you're from, I think. I know that like certain areas can be a bit more, I don't know, judgy, and I also think it depends on your age as well, because I was speaking to a girl on May Day, and she was a bit younger than me. I think she maybe started YouTube when she was like still at school, or like 18 or something, and she was like saying that people were like tweeting about her and stuff, and like, I know if I was still at school that would have happened to me. So I was just fortunate that I was like, oh my god, I think I started when I was like 21. Holy shit, I'm literally maybe 25 next year, no, next month. But I also think age and all of that will come into it, but honestly, in the grand scheme of things, I've had no problems. Like, no problems whatsoever. I've been very, very, very fortunate. Just nobody cares what I'm up to, to be honest. If anything bad had happened in the first like couple of weeks, I think I probably would have stopped. But yeah, now I wouldn't care, because I really like doing it. So, and also, like, if it's something you really want to do, don't take any notice of what people say. People will get over it. Might be like a shock at first, and people have a few things to say, and then once they know that you're like serious about it and you like are actually wanting to do it, then they just like, as long as you're confident about it and you stick up for yourself, honestly, like, hand on heart, I've had no problems. I mean, I'm sure there's lots of shit behind my back, but I'd rather not know. Another one about style and like where I got my style from, and like what inspires me and all of that. I don't really know. I actually think I've always had a bit of like a weird, like a different kind of style, but like I never thought of that as like a thing. And when I say like weird and different, like really, like not really, but I'm thinking back to the things I used to wear when I was at school and stuff, and there was like some quirky little bits in there. I remember I was telling Matty this story actually. You remember when Nike blazers were a thing, and everyone was getting them, and I remember my mum said, right, for like your birthday you can get these like stupidly expensive trainers, and I was like so excited. So also I'm home, so I'm gonna have to like do a little detour. So okay, so I really wanted these like dark green ones, but I thought like, oh, they're a bit like too like out there, like everyone's gonna slag me off because like I've got these like dark green blazers. So I ended up getting the black ones, and then I regretted it straight away because I actually wanted the dark green ones. Just like things like that. I feel like I've always maybe, and I liked them because no one had them, so I feel like I've always been a bit like that, but I don't know where that came from, because like no one in my family is like a bit like, I don't know, have different style. I get a lot of inspo from everywhere. I get inspo from shops, I get inspo from like literally like what the models wear on websites, I get inspo from Instagram obviously, Pinterest. I think taking inspiration from things that are not clothes as well. So sometimes I'll see like two colours together like could be anything, could literally be like a field, and I'll be like, oh, I love those colours together, I'm gonna like incorporate that in an outfit. So if you're like struggling, Insta, Pinterest is like a go-to. Pinterest is so cool. Where am I gonna go now? I'm not really sure. I think I'm gonna have to like loop back. There's actually quite a few questions about kids, surprisingly. Not about marriage or engagement, just kids. It's like, there was a few that was like, would you like kids in the next 5 years? Like, what's your plan? Like, all of this. Honestly, I don't really know what the plan is. Me and Matty are just winging it. I mean, obviously we would like a house and everything, all of that. We would like to get ourselves sorted first before we bring any little munchkins into the world. See, me and Matty are both like kids over marriage. Like, obviously I can't wait to get married and I can't wait to be proposed to. But like, I would say I'm more excited for kids, if that makes sense. I don't really know, I don't really have a plan. I feel like plans kind of scare me a little bit. Definitely both on the same page, which is good. It's always helpful when you're both on the same page with things. That's definitely on the cards, fingers crossed. You know, I always get a bit paranoid about these things, but fingers crossed that would be on the cards for us. But it's also funny, I wonder if anyone else who has little siblings also think this. I'm 11 years older than my sister, so I feel like I have been a mum for the last how many years? How old is she? They're 14. Like 14 years. I feel like I have been a mum, so I just feel like I need a break. How am I going to get back home? Because this is like a way to take me onto the dual carriageway here. One about Matty, and it was like it was like one thing you would change about Matty, or like one thing Matty does that annoys you. I mean, there's plenty of things he does that annoys me. But like one thing I would change, I don't really know. I think he's actually too nice to other people. I want him to only be nice to me. I'm joking. Yeah, no, I think he is too nice to other people. But like drop anything for everyone. And I know that's like a really good trait to have, but sometimes it's like just do what you want to do, you know? But I'm also a bit like that, so I mean, it's probably better he's like that than the other way. I don't know. I do think he's too nice sometimes. I actually got one asking what my bucket list is, and I have came to the conclusion I don't have a bucket list, so I'm gonna need to write a bucket list. I don't know what would be on it. If anyone's got any suggestions, let me know. I would really like to see the 7 wonders of the world. But there's a few places I would like to visit and stuff. Like, I don't really have like a specific. I think I need to make one so you know I can like tick things off, because that would be good. I feel like I'd feel quite accomplished if I did that. A few more, but the last one I was gonna answer was like about jobs, and I'm not even going to get into it because honestly I'm just going to end up going on this huge rant again about work. Not my new job. My new job is so good. I've passed my like 3 months probation, by the way. Woo! My new job is amazing, and it's not until you get a good job that you realise how bad your last job was. And honestly, I would love to do like a full video on like how to deal with like bad jobs, because I've actually had quite a few jobs. I've had like 6 or 7 office jobs, which is actually quite bad considering I've only been working for about 8 years. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that wasn't very long, and I feel like I didn't really answer very much. And it's 20 to 6, so I should probably wrap this up and get editing. But I was actually meant to film a clean out video this weekend, but I mean the weather was so nice, I just like didn't want to film. I just didn't want to do it. Like, I didn't want to be stuck in my room when it was like 14 degrees outside. I actually got sunburnt yesterday. My nose and my hairline's all red. Do you know what? I don't even mind. A little bit of sun's good for me. And that is me literally pulling up outside my house. So I hope this was like, I don't know, I hope this was okay. I really like come drive with me's, but I don't know if they're like a bit boring to other people, you know, because it's just like me. I really enjoy filming them, and it was a bit of company on my way home, which is nice. So I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully next week there will be a clean out video. It's really bad. I've got shit everywhere. It's stressing me out so much. I have time this week. I'm actually not doing anything this week. I actually had time all weekend and didn't bother doing it. So next week I'm doing a clean out, so that should be next week's video, and I don't know what I'm going to do after that. I'm sure I'll find something. I kind of want to rope Matty into a video soon, maybe like a little challenge video or something. But yeah, that is it. That is the video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much to everyone who asked me questions, by the way, because if you didn't, then I wouldn't be able to film this. Very much appreciated. Because yeah, like I said, I would have no idea what to talk about if I didn't get some kind of suggestion. As you would have seen, because the last video I filmed was like just a rant. So yeah, thank you so much for the questions, keeping me on track. Oh, what a nice evening. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video.